Hello everyone and welcome back to our videos. As we talked in the previous video about the anti-skid system, and we talked about the function of the anti-skid system. Also, we mentioned the components of the anti-skid system, and we said the component system consists of wheel speed sensor, control valve and control unit, and we specify the function of each component of the anti-skid system. So today we will talk about the anti-skid system maintenance. If a flight crew reports an anti-skid or brake malfunction, verify that there is no air in the brake system before condemning the anti-skid system. If the brakes are spongy, you have to remove the air by bleeding them. Due to the complexity of the components, they are usually returned to the manufacturer or a repair station for any needed repairs. Today I will specify about the three components of the anti-skid maintenance, and I will start with wheel speed sensor. The first type or the first step for making maintenance for the wheel speed sensor, to mention that or to get it that is the wheel speed sensor work or not. The first thing you have to do by removing the wheel hubcap to expose the blade of the sensor. After you expose the blade of the sensor, with your finger give the blade a sharp spin. As we see here, you have to make a sharp spin in its normal direction of rotation. With the brakes applied and the anti-skid switch on, it will not turn more than 180 degrees. If the sensor will not turn more than 180 degrees, you will get that this wheel speed sensor is work. If the system is operating properly, the brake should momentarily release and then reapplied. After the wheel speed sensor maintenance, we will go to the control unit. For maintenance of the control unit, the first thing you have to remove both of connector plugs from the box and swap them left to right. You have to take the right one to make it on the left one and the opposite. Suppose the trouble indication was originally on the left side of the airplane. If the leads from the box are switched and the indication remains on the left side, the trouble is probably not with the control unit. If the indication moves to the right side, the control unit may be defective. To make this more clear, you have to understand this. If the trouble indication that appears on the left side of the airplane and you change the controls here, you put the left on the right and the right on the left, and the indication trouble is still on the left side, show that the effective or the malfunction on the left side, that means the control unit is probably worked. If not, and the indication will swap with the cables and show that the trouble indication was changed from the left to the right, that means the control unit is not worked and you have to replace it. The last component of anti-skid is the control valve, and we will understand now how to make maintenance for the control valve. If the trouble remains after checking the two devices that were the easiest to access, all that remains in the anti-skid system is the control valve. So, if you have to examine the wheel speed sensor and its work, and you go to the control unit and you found that it also works, so the malfunction, it will come from the control valve. The trouble could be in either the electrical or hydraulic section. The easiest to check is the electrical resistance of the coil. Remove the connector plug and measure the resistance of the coil with an accurate ohmmeter. A 15 micron steel mesh screen is commonly installed in the line before the orifices to ensure that no contaminants reach the inside of the valve. If this screen clogs, the valve may malfunction. The last thing, check the manufacturer service manuals to see if it is possible to replace this filter in the field. That's all about the anti-skid system components maintenance.